Pubcast. If you're not listening to Pubcast, the terrorists are winning. That's what Jay Moore says.
Welcome to the Pubcast. Sit down and enjoy a pint.
Okay, welcome to the Matrix episode of the Pubcast. Allison and Eric join me as we break down this sci-fi classic that some call the best sci-fi movie of all time. I don't go that far, but it's definitely the most influential movie of the past 25 years. The action and the special effects are groundbreaking, and the storytelling is really interesting and innovative. Sure, it can be confusing, and it can break your brain if you think too hard about it, but it's original, and that's a rare thing these days. If you can be original, that goes a long way. So take the red pill and join us as we break down The Matrix.
Forget everything you know.
What is happening to me?
All I can tell you is that you're in danger.
Forget everything you've seen.
Buckle your seatbelt, Dorothy, because Kansas is going bye-bye.
Now, the Matrix has you.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself.
The Matrix.
All right, The Matrix, 1999. The no-nonsense plot. This is pretty good. When a beautiful stranger leads computer hacker Neo to a forbidding underworld, he discovers the shocking truth. The life he knows is the elaborate deception of an evil cyber intelligence. Okay.
Huh.
I think that's a different movie.
Yeah.
Stranger.
The beautiful stranger part is insane. But also an evil cyber intelligence. I never really would have said. I mean, I guess in this movie, the agents are evil.
It's evil.
But it's just more like a survival of the fittest type of thing. I never thought of the computers as evil, but I guess, I mean, obviously they're the bad guy.
They are devoid of a conscience to decide good or evil.
Ooh. Philosophical.
I know. You gotta go way deep when you're talking about the Matrix.
That's one thing I don't want to get into, but it's inevitable.
Yes.
Is that all the philosophy and the allegories and everything?
Yes.
It's kind of overwhelming.
Yes.
And we'll deal with that when we have to.
Okay.
Okay. Overall reaction to the movie. Where did you see it? What impact did it have? Overarching thoughts, that type of thing. This was 99. We were in, I guess, Chicago.
We were in Wrigleyville.
Yeah.
And I remember very clearly the trailers on television, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see it. And I'm like, I don't know if I really want to watch it. And you're like, what are you talking about? You were like so annoyed. I don't know that we saw it in the theater. I think we rented it.
No.
Maybe I think you saw it in the theater.
Theater.
I don't know that I did.
Yeah. I don't know.
And then I watched it and I was like, whoa. It was good.
It was, even in the trailer, you could tell this is something different. I didn't
understand it. Admittedly, I had no idea what was going on.
I didn't understand it for the first 5 times I saw it.
Yeah.
But everything looked different. The philosophy was different. The computer simulation, living in a dream world. There's a world behind the world thing. The philosophy, the allegories, the much hyped and much stolen and redone choreography and fight scenes and the bullet time thing.
But you didn't know any of that going into it.
Some of that you saw some of that in the theater, in the trailers.
But I mean, we're talking a minute and a half. You didn't know that there was all this deep philosophy and all of that in there.
No, but there was enough there that I knew I had to see it because it was way different.
Got it.
And then we're talking about what impact it had too.
Mm-hmm.
I think people forget how crazy unusual it was when it came out. Like there wasn't. It was completely different.
There was nothing like it.
Completely different.
Yeah. It changed fighting sequences in any movie going forward, just about. Like nothing, it has influenced any remotely sci-fi action movie of any kind.
Most influential movie of the past 25 years, arguably. I don't know who else is in the running. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't know, but I mean, every fight scene, every choreography, all the cinematography of sci-fi and fight scenes and all that sort of stuff, it all traces back to this movie.
Yeah.
Eric, do you remember seeing it for the first time, what you thought, all that sort of stuff?
I do. The week it came out was the week that I arrived at Fort Bragg. I don't remember exactly when I first saw the commercials for it, but I do remember seeing the commercials. It's like first get to Fort Bragg, I spent a week at a barracks. It was like what they called it, the replacement company, where you spend your week doing like in processing stuff, and then they send you to your actual unit. The day that I got to my unit, I think it was that night, I went out with the guys because everybody was talking about it, and we went to see it.
Yeah.
Totally.
And yeah, I ended up having I ended up going to see it again in the theater like maybe not quite a month later, because like you, I didn't get it all the first time I saw it. Like I had to see it again to make sense of it.
For sure, I didn't really grasp it fully until the third time I saw it, probably.
Yeah, I feel like that's why I'm pretty confident I did not see it in the theater. I saw it on a rental, and I think I watched it multiple times. We watched it multiple times that weekend, like trying to understand.
I remember
everything
specifically. Movies came out on video way longer after the movie release.
Right.
So it might have been a year and a half later.
Yeah.
But I think it might have been that Christmas. I remember watching it at your dad's place that Christmas, like on the TV, like after.
I bought it and brought it home with me.
And we were like,
all right, at Christmas time, and we watched it at the house.
Around the 27-inch television.
Yeah.
The 27-incher with a dying photo tube. Yeah. Great. All right. I wrote down a bunch
on VHS.
On VHS, of course. Bunch of little things here.
Speaking of, Eric, how many versions of this have you purchased? Is it 3 or is it 4? Like, did you have VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and then digital?
Whoa.
For the original movie,
Laserdisc.
I did. For the original movie, yeah, I think that's right. I think it's 4. I think I had VHS.
That's insane.
DVD, Blu-ray, and digital 4 times.
Good God.
The other two.
Well, the other two.
I think 3 times, because I think I bought a DVD, I bought the box set on DVD, then on Bluray, and
the other
then
two
digital.
are basically Godfather 3. I mean, let's be honest. There's moments, but come on.
Yeah.
So I wrote down a bunch of like thought starters here. Like I don't know where to go with them. They all sort of mix and match, and I'm not sure where to start. Except there's one place to start, and that is the influence or role of the Wachowskis' gender fluidity, transgender situation in this movie. I mean, it's all over the place from top to bottom. And I think we all probably saw this in the trivia. The character Switch.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be transgender. Well, she was going to be female in the Matrix and male in the real world. That's why her name was switched.
Oh, that's I did not. I didn't. I mean, I did my little slot machine look at trivia, so I did not see that. That's interesting.
Yeah. The actress that plays Switch, when they originally cast her, she was only supposed to be the character in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and one or both of the Wachowskis have come out, I think recently, and said, yeah, this whole movie is basically a sort of, at least parts of it, an allegory, a transgender allegory for what they were going through and identity issues and all that sort of stuff, of course. But then there's also the layer of the biblical allegory that's going on with Neo and Trinity, and there's all the biblical references. I can't putting those two together, like in the background of your brain, while dealing with all of the computerness of it, like it hurts my head. Like, for example,
the complexity of everything that's
there's so many layers, and they're interconnected or they're disparate. Like, they're all over the place. Like when the Oracle gives Neo a cookie. Yeah. And computers have cookies to where they remember and mark and track the user. All that stuff. I can't keep track of all the computer stuff and all the transgender stuff and all the biblical stuff and follow the fucking plot. It's ridiculous. This is like 6 movies in one, and it kind of hurts my head. Even 22 years later. Yeah.
It's really pretty incredible that all of that could be packed into a single 2-hour movie.
It's nuts.
In 1999 is I mean, it really is amazing that all of that was done, and it was so influential and changed. It changed the use of CG. It changed the use of the way fighting worked. Yeah. It was. It really. Well, you already said it. Yeah. I mean,
so we have talked about this with other movies in the past. Does The Matrix qualify as a perfect movie? For what it's doing, is it, as near perfect as it could be?
I'm going to say the movie as a whole.
It doesn't mean
it's not perfect.
It doesn't mean it's flawless, but in doing what it's trying to do, I think it's near perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching it even a bit this evening, and there's a couple of, I actually wrote down a couple of what the hell? This is the most ridiculous, over the top performance or delivery of a line that it was distracting.
Mention it. You might as well.
So the scene when Cypher is unplugging everybody and Tank goes, believe it or not, you piece of shit, you can still burn. And he shoots him and then he spits. It's ridiculous. That scene.
That's some George Lucas writing.
That particular delivery is crazy. And the Tasty Wheat acting of Mouse is super herky-jerky and bizarre, and I don't get the delivery when in that particular scene, given what he does throughout the rest of the movie.
Right. That whole scene with the eating the Tasty Wheat or whatever is weird. Maybe that kid's just not a good actor.
Well, that's more of what it felt like. Like he was trying to be the funny, smooth, fast-talking nerd.
He's nothing.
But it came out really forced and awkward. However, I actually enjoyed the content of the dialogue around the Tasty Wheat and what it means about what you taste.
But
yes,
did you notice that he even fucks that up? He says it backwards.
Excuse me.
He doesn't say, everything tastes like chicken. He said chicken tastes like everything.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Chicken doesn't taste like everything.
No.
It's the opposite of what he should have been saying.
Right.
But you know what he wants to say, but fine.
But I enjoyed the content of what was being said. Yeah. The delivery misses the mark.
So I think
it's on the outer ring of the target.
Top to bottom, you could erase his character from the movie and you wouldn't even notice it. It's fine. Be great.
Yeah. Have
somebody else develop the Woman in Red program. Fine. Good. The end.
Yeah.
Have any of the other people have APOC have a fucking line of dialogue that matters would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of
he's a zero.
Such an ancillary character.
Take Mouse and APOC, combine them into one, throw them in the garbage, and then give all their stuff to do. Why
are they combined into one and then thrown in the garbage?
That's funny. Then have all the 3 or 4 things they do, just hand that off to Switch. And then the movie is the exact same and it's cleaner. Yeah. It's a bunch of nonsense. That said,
not like this.
I think this movie is close to perfect.
Yeah, it's for what it's
pretty darn close.
Yeah, for what it's doing and at the time it did it, it's amazing.
So back to the Wachowskis, the S&M influence throughout this thing is very interesting with all the leather and is it
the plastic? Club that they go to?
The club, which is a real club.
Yeah.
All that's interesting. It was obvious then, I think, kind of too, but it's all this sort of ties in together. One thing I wrote down: nothing else but the Nokia phones in this movie.
That the little slide out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People wanted to have those phones because of that movie. In this movie.
Yeah.
The scene where...
And I think I almost want to... For some reason, it's in my head that, like, those phones were already, like, discontinued by the time the movie even came out.
Yeah.
Like, they were brand new when they put them in the movie, but then they didn't work and they pulled them or something.
Well,
so you couldn't even get them.
Yeah, watching the movie, they had that phone and, the bottom slid out and whatever, cool. But even then, we're like, that phone is huge. Like, cell phones at that time were not that gigantic. I mean, they were getting small. So yeah, I'm sure they were obsolete. The scene where they rescue Morpheus from top to bottom, getting the guns in the white space or whatever, the loading program, whatever they call it, going through security with all the guns in the bags, and then the shootout in the lobby, Morpheus up top with the Agent Smith going through why he hates the Matrix and wants to get out of there, has to, get the codes or whatever, and get out. The shoot up the elevator, the fight at the top, the helicopter shootout, blowing out the whole, top floor or whatever that was, rescuing Morpheus.
The bullet dodging.
It's 20 minutes or however long this thing is of 1999 perfection. It's great.
I can't remember. I didn't spend a lot of time writing down these notes, but like there are certain sequences that took 6 months to plan out. And I want to say it was the helicopter one, kind of that whole thing, coordinating all of those different things took months and months and months and months and months to execute.
That whole sequence to me holds up perfectly 20 years later.
Honestly, so it's so funny you say that. So when I was doing my homework or, watching the movie a week ago, of course I fell asleep in the middle of it. Eric, I was rewatching it tonight mainly because I wanted to watch that scene.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of like just past halfway into the movie. And that I feel like when I do watch it, I catch like the beginning, I catch the very end. And I wanted to watch that scene because it is so well done, so well choreographed. And I remember being blown away when that came out. Like, how did they do this?
Yeah.
because it looks it still looks real.
From there to the end of the movie just flows and just kicks
Yeah.
toward the end. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great. It's really good. So, Eric, I had this question. I hadn't thought of it really ever until this rewatch. It should be obvious if you watch it, but it wasn't to me until now. So every single person in those pods, all of humanity, each one is living in their own little matrix. Because there are no real people don't interact with each other, right? Or do they? Like the whole thing is a dream world. Or
I always thought
reality like fucking Fortnite or something, right? I don't know. Or is it everyone is living their own individual reality? Or
like is
fake reality?
Everybody Thomas Anderson
or
in the Matrix?
You're the star of your own movie, and everyone has their own movie.
No, I always took it as everybody's connected to one big world.
That's what I thought initially, but rewatching it, they said something, or we were watching it and it came up and I brought it up, and at the time it made sense.
Was it because of Cypher wanting to get plugged back in, and like how does that?
Maybe it is. Yeah.
How does that kind of interact with other people that this dude suddenly shows up and he's a rich guy?
Right. Yeah, a
lot of ins, a lot of outs.
A lot of ins, a lot of outs, a lot of what have yous. Maybe we shouldn't really go too deep. I think you pull on that string and the whole thing falls apart. But there's a lot of those type of things where I'm like, how does this work? And so I did see something about the whole concept of the machines using people as an energy source.
Nonsense.
If you don't think about it, it's fine. But if you think about it for a half a second, like it can't possibly be.
Yeah.
So I did see something that it's scientifically impossible, of course. Humans do not produce much energy, and the machines could easily gather more resources, more energy, basically, by burning the nutrients they use to sustain the people. So all the effort they're putting into raising and sustaining these human guinea pigs or these pods, all that stuff, just put it in a pile and set it on fire, and you generate more energy.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, this whole thing kind of falls apart.
Well,
it's
and there's
fiction.
There's also like other little details, and it caught me today, and I was completely distracted. Then, as a result, I'm kind of mad that I noticed it.
What?
So when Neo wakes up in the pod and he's in the slime, and he sits up and he's looking around and he sees like the big power plants with all the people in them, and he's looking around and he's looking down, he's looking up, and it's like miles of this. And then he wakes up gets flushed down, is in then the little hovercraft ship, and everything is fuzzy, close up, and then he's saying to Morpheus, how come I can't see, or how come my eyes hurt? And he's like, because you never use your eyes. How could he see all of the miles of stuff, but he is reacting as if he is?
What if it's just a big red-orange blur?
That's not what was implied there.
I know.
So then he sees and then he doesn't see. He sees and he doesn't see. And I was kind of mad that I was like, wait a minute, how can he see that far if he couldn't see Morpheus 3 feet away?
As we said, it may be a perfect movie, but it doesn't mean that it's not flawless.
I know. I agree. It's a bit of nitpicking, but it caught me today that I was not expecting it. I never noticed it in the 100 times I've seen this movie.
Okay. Box office performance.
Okay.
The Matrix did make the top 10 for that year. At first glance, this is one of those ones where I'm like, oh, this is a great movie year. The top 10 is ridiculous. But then when I got past like 4 or 5, I'm like, oh, it's really not that good.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Here we go. Top 10. Number 1, Star Wars: The Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
I know, but it's a big movie, $430 million. The Sixth Sense, $276 million.
That's a good one. That's actually that's a bigger number than I would have thought.
I know. It's a movie that everyone saw, but no one will ever watch it again. Like once you know the thing, I think it's not that watchable to me.
I don't agree with that, but
it's a different
watching.
Yeah. Number 3, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, $206 million. Number 4, Toy Story 2, $199. Number 5, The Matrix, with $171 million. That comes out today. It's $700 million. I mean, it would be a huge movie, bigger than it was. Number 6, Tarzan, $170 million. Yeah, bad. Big Daddy.
Is that the animated or the live action?
1999. I'm thinking animated.
Okay.
Is it the Disney Tarzan?
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
I was wondering if it had my little sweetie Alexander Skarsgård as Tarzan.
Big Daddy, 163.
Yes.
The Mummy, 155 million. Number 8. Number 9, Runaway Bride, 152 million.
Julia Roberts.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Okay. And number 10, a little tiny movie called The Blair Witch Project.
Oh.
140 million.
Yeah, Tarzan down, that's quite a drop.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this is good. And then, no, it's not very good. This movie this year is not that great. I think there are better movies below that didn't perform great, but fine.
The Blair Witch Project, though, really kind of changed that genre a bit.
Yeah.
It really birthed all of those kind of...
found footage.
Yeah.
Well, that's my favorite, like, independent, made on a shoestring, and then made 140 million.
Yeah.
So the budget for The Matrix was 63, and it made 171. So pretty damn good.
It's amazing that they made this movie for $63 million.
Yeah.
And especially since they invented a lot of stuff.
Right.
All that bullet time stuff. And I mean,
I think I saw something like 20% of the movie was CG.
The CG.
So CG at that time was probably way more expensive. And then the fact that 80% of this was actually real is expensive.
I know. Rotten Tomatoes. Okay. Let's do that. You want to do audience or critics?
Let's do critics.
What do you think the critics gave The Matrix?
I often go first. I'm going to let Eric go first this time.
Eric, critics.
Critics, I will say 85.
5.
I think the critics are going to have actually ranked it higher. I think they're going to have liked all of the effects and impact. I'm going to say 91.
The critics gave Rotten Tomatoes an 8. We gave Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow.
The critics at Rotten Tomatoes gave The Matrix 88%. Right in the middle. You guys nailed it. What was the audience score?
That's got to be
95.
Yeah, I'll say 98. It's got to be
98, 95. Audience score 85.
Shut up! Really?
Wow.
Critics liked it more than the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. That doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
I am baffled by that. Who are those 15 people out of 100 that are
that is a glitch in the Matrix.
Yes.
That's a glitch in the Matrix right there. Okay. what do you think the body count was in The Matrix? This, do not hold me to this number. This is what I found. So who knows? Eric, what do you think the body count was?
I feel like it's going to be lower than.
What do you think?
It was a dozen.
Ooh.
Whoa. What? I was going to say like 65.
All right, we have 12 and we have 65. The body count?
Yeah.
For The Matrix? 39.
Oh, wow. Eric, we are like averaging ourselves.
I know.
Yeah.
Working together, we get it right every time.
So they shot The Matrix in Sydney, like in Australia.
Yeah.
And the Wachowskis are from Chicago. And Sydney is a stand-in for Chicago in this movie. I mean, every street they mention is Erie or it's Wabash.
Yeah.
And it's all downtown Chicago stuff. All the architecture that is either real or, you know, it sets in the movie, all looks like Chicago. It's very Chicago-ish.
Well, I was always kind of wondering about that because I knew the streets were very Chicago, but I didn't feel like it looks as Chicago-y. And I'm like, so is this all CG? And it's
never named or called Chicago, but it's clearly...
Yeah, no, I know.
All the things point to it.
Still, like it... Yeah. I guess I was expecting a little bit more of a grittier look. It's a little whitewashed in that movie.
Well, yeah. You know, that's when you use Sydney as Chicago. Some of this trivia... Oh, we already talked about the S&M Club in the beginning was a real club called the Hellfire Club in Sydney. In Greek mythology, Morpheus is the god of dreams.
Ooh.
See, you have another layer, Greek mythology. Because Morpheus is also like a John the Baptist character in the whole biblical thing. There's too many layers.
And you've got the whole Romans and Christians and my goodness, what are you going to do?
No, ridiculous.
I mean, I know the Greeks and Romans are different, but I'm trying to make your connection there.
They're all sort of swarthy Mediterranean people. It's fine. In the first 45 minutes of the movie, Neo has 80 lines. 44 of those lines are questions.
Oh.
So he's the whole first half of the movie, he's essentially just asking questions. Like,
continually questioning what's going on.
What is this?
Yeah.
Who are you? Where am I?
Yeah. One of the things that
exposition.
Yeah.
One of the things I saw, I didn't see that specifically, but I saw something that when in the beginning of the movie, when you see Neo, all of his clothes are a bit like tattered and ill-fitting to kind of subtly signify that he doesn't fit in that world, that it's just things don't quite match up for him.
Well, and that goes back to the whole transgender thing with the Wachowskis, like not fitting into the world or even in their own skin. They're not, the whole thing. This is the only film in the trilogy where Neo uses firearms.
No.
He never uses a gun in the other ones, supposedly.
He doesn't have to.
That's right.
I was looking for the first part of the quote and I couldn't get there.
The hotel room and number,
when you're ready,
where Neo is told to go after the fight in the subway, are the same as it's the same hotel and room where Trinity is in when the police get her. She's typing on the computer and they get her. It's the Heart of the City Hotel, room 303. 303 is the avatar or the equivalent of Trinity. 303.
Yeah. And if I remember right, Neo's apartment is Neo's apartment is 101, right?
Right. Yeah, Neo.
The one is in 101.
Oh my god. Oh my god, amazing.
That's what I mean. All the layers. I can't keep it together.
And Neo is
It's
an
like Easter egg
anagram of
Easter egg on Easter egg.
And of course, Neo is an anagram for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, much of this stuff has been talked about for here and there online for years. So we're not breaking down on most of this stuff. But okay, you mentioned this, Al, so I looked it up.
Okay.
The name of the company where Thomas Anderson works is Metacortex. The roots of this word are meta, which means going beyond or higher, transcending, and cortex, which is the outer layer or boundary of gray matter surrounding the brain. Thus, metacortex is transcending the boundaries of the brain, which is exactly what Neo ends up doing.
Amazing. Amazing.
See, I mean, we could do this for an hour, and it's never ending with this movie. But my last little bit of trivia, and then you guys can chime in. The guns used by the agents, Desert Eagle Mark 19 pistol, not .50.
I was just gonna say.
I wish it was .50, because then worlds would collide with the Matrix and Snatch. We have to do some sort of a mashup, sequel, prequel. I don't know what would be happening there, but that's all I'm doing for trivia, because otherwise we'd never leave this podcast.
The only other thing that I had that I loved was, so we were talking about the shoot it up scene when they're going to rescue Morpheus, where they show kind of that lobby after it all happens and the facade falls off of that pillar. That was unplanned. So that was not intended to happen, but as they were finishing the shot and it fell, they loved that impact, or they loved what it communicated and left it in.
Yeah, that's when the editor just sort of hangs on to it for an extra beat, and then it falls.
Well, and there are more funny parts, like the comedic elements. Funny might be too strong of a word, but comedic elements to this movie than you remember. I
mean, some of the quotes are pretty funny. I mean, we can get to those eventually, but we've talked about that.
Yeah. The only other thing I had as a trivia is more around casting.
Well, Eric, do you have any non-casting trivia? Otherwise, we're going to get into the casting issues.
No. I don't know if it's necessarily well, no, this would I'm good. Well, I'll talk about it if we get into like memorable quotes and stuff. That's when I'll bring this up.
Okay.
I'm good.
Casting.
Yes.
I saw the same stuff you guys saw, and most of this is the big names we've heard of mostly here and there, and I'll bring them up in a minute. This is one of those ones where you try to figure out who was almost cast or who read for this role or almost had it or was offered it or whatever. And the answer is every actor in Hollywood had a chance and passed on it, or couldn't do it because of this or whatever it was. So I don't know what to believe, but here's where I'm going to start. Before I get into the specific issues with Neo and Trinity and Morpheus. When the idea of the Matrix was in early development in the early 90s, Lana and Lily Wachowskis, their first choice for Neo back then was Brandon Lee. But he died in the filming of The Crow.
Yeah, interesting.
So that's kind of an interesting and I think a good Neo had they done that.
That would have been really good.
Yeah. Okay. Neo. You want me to do this, or do you have something you want to add?
No, it's not Neo. It's a different character, but I can't wait to say it.
So this is what I found. I don't know how much of this is real, so take everything with a grain of salt. Supposedly, Johnny Depp was the Wachowskis' first choice to play Neo. But Warner Brothers pushed them to use Keanu Reeves only after it was turned down by Will Smith, which that's the famous one, Will Smith.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage, I don't buy that one. I don't buy that one.
No, I don't buy that.
Brad Pitt, I've seen a bunch of places.
Yeah.
Who knows? Val Kilmer, I don't buy that one. And then the other two I see are Ewan McGregor in 99 and Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know about either one of those either. So all of this stuff is weird.
I don't buy Ewan McGregor because
Star Wars.
He had done Star Wars, and before that he had just had Train Spotting, so he was not on anybody's radar really.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't buy that one.
Other one that I saw for Neo, and this is real, is that it was potentially going to go to Sandra Bullock.
The Neo part?
Neo.
Oh, I thought that was a Trinity part.
I kept looking for that. I saw someone mention the Trinity one. I tried to find more information, like confirmation of that. I didn't find that, but I saw the producer, Lorenzo di Bonaventura, a producer on The Matrix, said, yeah, we offered it to Sandra Bullock, or we wanted her to have it. And she has since said that, I wish I had taken the Matrix role. And everything points to they wanted to have Sandra Bullock as a female Neo, like change the character to a female.
That would have been interesting.
I've never heard of that until I found this piece, and it appears to be legit.
Interesting.
All right, who do you want to talk about, Al?
I don't know that it's really that big of a deal, but it definitely made me chuckle. And that is podcast favorite Jean Reno was approached to play Agent Smith.
Jean Reno. Jean Reno. Agent Smith?
Yeah.
I actually like that one. That's pretty good.
I started laughing because, of course, I read the name as Jean Reno, not Jean Reno.
Jean Reno.
Yep.
Yeah.
Trinity.
That was the only thing that caught my eye. I really tried to avoid the casting.
The only two
reviews.
people I saw for Trinity, one I think is real, and the other one I don't believe for a second. The one I saw that I like, that I think is real, was Janet Jackson. For
Trinity?
Yeah. I could believe it. I could believe that they tried for her.
Brilliant.
The one that I saw that I don't get is Gillian Anderson.
Was that
X-Files?
X-Files.
I know.
But-
was that show still going at that time?
I think it was in its heyday, wasn't it?
Was it in 99?
Yeah, maybe just
Yeah.
after the peak, but whatever, right about there.
Yeah.
That one I didn't quite get. Morpheus. Okay, Morpheus. I've got 3.
Okay.
All I think are fine.
Okay.
Gary Oldman, Samuel L. Jackson, and Russell Crowe. I think Russell Crowe is fine too.
Wow.
Gladiator Russell Crowe.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think he's ideal, but I think, fine.
It's possible. Yep.
There was a rumor, but it's a miscommunication out there that Sean Connery was up for Morpheus, but he didn't get the script and said no. That's not true. He was actually up for the architect in the next movie, the Reloaded, or the third
interesting.
movie.
Yeah.
Which makes more sense. The old guy with the white hair and the white beard.
It would have been unbelievably distracting.
Right.
To have Sean Connery trying to.
The funny part is I read over and over at different places that he turned it down because he just didn't get the movie. He couldn't. It made no sense to him. He's like, "What is this bullshit? I'm not. No, I can't read this ridiculous dialogue."
Yeah, I think it's kind of the urban legend is that Sean Connery turned down The Matrix and Lord of the Rings back to back because he didn't really get them.
Yeah.
So then the next time he was offered a movie in that sort of same vein was The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Right.
Which was terrible. So Connery was basically like, I don't understand this industry anymore, and essentially retired and pretty much never did anything again.
Wow.
That makes perfect sense. I believe every part of that. Yeah. Okay. Now the preamble is over. We get, the Appetizers are done. Let's get to the
Yes.
main course. It's a recasting debate. It is time to recast debate.
Better close the door. It's time to recast debate.
Okay.
All right.
I feel more confident in my choices here than I have for any movie we've done to date.
Interesting. I don't know that I feel that confident.
I have 1, 2, 3 at least, and it could be 4 or 5, that are the right answer, and there is no other answer. So I'm just telling you, everything I say is right today, so just get ready for it.
Yep. All right.
The main 4 we're talking about is Neo,
Yes.
Morpheus, Trinity, Agent Smith.
Yeah.
Everything beyond that is a bonus.
Yeah.
We got Cypher, we got Switch, we got the Oracle, we got APOC, Tank, Mouse, Dozer,
Blah, blah, blah.
Partridge in a
Yep.
Pear Tree,
Yep.
whatever. If you're recasting Dozer, then we need to shut this podcast
I wrote
down.
the name down and I put nothing next to it. So
I mean,
I'm with you.
yeah. Okay. Should we start with Neo? Oh
Sure.
my God.
Yeah.
I have 4. I'm just going to do 3.
You only get 3, man.
3. Yeah.
3's the max.
I know. I'll start. My number 3 for Neo, Nicholas Hoult.
Oh. I thought about him. I wasn't sure he'd be fast enough.
I have him somewhere else.
I feel like he's got some lead feet.
I didn't think like running speed was going to be the
Not running speed, but like
Kicking
he's like
speed.
kicking
I
and
know, I know.
punching, and
well.
there feels like a level of
mean-
nimbleness that needs to be there.
Keanu Reeves is as stiff and robotronic as you can get in this movie.
But he is slicing through the air.
That's my number 3.
All right.
My number 2 I like a lot. Could have been a number 1. My number 1 is interesting.
Okay.
So number 2, with a bullet, Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, he's my number 2 as well. Yeah.
Me too.
Easily number 1. You can't argue with it.
Right.
Fine.
Right.
Number 1, because
Can't wait.
it fits in, I think, most ways. Although, if we're worried about foot speed, this may be an issue for this guy. Adam Driver. He's not one of my. That's the answer. And
He's
that's
not
it.
Yeah.
But I think I think that's an interesting. That
Yeah.
could work as Neo.
Yeah.
It's a very different Neo, but he could pull it off.
Yeah. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And you don't often cast him.
No, I know.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
Eric, give us your candidates for Neo.
All right. My number 3 is Dev Patel
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
from The Green Knight and Lion and
I like that guy. He's good.
yeah. My number 2 is Michael B. Jordan, and then I think
Wait, we have Michael B. Jordan, number 2, sweeping across the board.
Yep.
correct.
All right.
And then my number 1, I think it's my number 1, Henry Golding.
Ah,
Oh, interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I did try to find a spot for him in this movie, but I ended up not.
Yeah.
But that's good. I like that.
So my number 3 is more of a joke because I'm going to make this person be the one in multiple movies, and that is Timothée Chalamet.
I was convinced someone would have him as Neo or someone
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah.
For sure.
I thought about it, but no.
Michael B. Jordan was number 2. My number 1, I like this actor. I'm surprised he's not in more things. His name is Theo James, and he is most well known in what's the movie with Shailene
The Divergent.
Divergent series. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He plays the character named Four.
Yeah, I think I know the
Good-looking guy, athletic, fast.
fast.
He's fast.
Speed is a big issue with you.
I love that we're evaluating actors' speed at this point.
It's
okay.
fighting skills. If he's going to be able to slice it up in the Matrix, he's got to be dodging those bullets, man.
Mm-hmm.
So,
all right, Eric.
Here we are.
Oh no, we did you already. Okay. I'll do Morpheus. I'll start with Morpheus.
Ooh, Morpheus. All right.
Okay. My number 3 came late to me. I kind of like it, but it's a weird number 3. It's fine. My number 3 is The Rock as Morpheus. Different kind of Morpheus.
That's a different kind of, Or it's going to be
that's a different movie
than The Rock is used to playing.
Yeah. Can I? Okay, you're going to wear sleeves, and you're really not going to do all that much fighting.
Okay.
So just be prepared to like speak in a very stilted manner for an unnatural way.
Yes.
Number 2, solid number 2. I love casting him, Donald Glover.
Oh, as Morpheus.
Oh,
interesting. I have him somewhere else.
Yeah. Number 1, it is not fair to any of us that the new movie's coming out and the guy playing Morpheus looks just like Morpheus. So I'm going to just put him in as Morpheus. Yahya Abdul Mateen.
I don't know who that is.
He's the guy playing Morpheus in the new movie.
Great.
He was the bad guy Mantis in Aquaman. Forgettable role,
but yeah.
He looks like a young fish. He looks like fucking Morpheus is the answer. So yeah,
right.
That's why I put him in.
Okay.
Al, do your Morpheus.
So I only had 2, and I like both of them, but very different. So Sterling K. Brown.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Is Morpheus. Or
he's good.
Or
yeah.
Viola Davis.
Oh. Okay.
I like her in that role. I'm trying to figure out the fighting thing, but she's got amazing arms. She's super fit, and she can do it.
Except for the dojo scene, there's not a lot of Morpheus fighting in this movie.
Yeah, it's there, and when they're in the walls.
Right, that's right.
That's
more about Morpheus getting his ass kicked than anything else.
But I have something to talk about when we get to kind of memorable scenes about that.
All right.
So.
All right.
Those are my 2.
Eric, Morpheus.
I got 3. My second and third choices are both kind of, I don't know, I'm not super excited about. I think they work, but I think they might be a little, I don't know, getting on the old side. My number 3, Javier Bardem.
Oh. Actually pretty good.
And then probably even a little bit older, Ken Watanabe.
I like him. I want Ken Watanabe in 2003. Yeah.
But my number 1 is Mahershala Ali.
Ooh, that's really good.
Yeah, perfect.
That's really good.
I think you win that one.
Yeah.
All right. Now begins my string of unassailable number 1s. All of my number 1s from here on out are the answer, so they cannot be disputed whatsoever.
Okay.
But I'm not going first this time. Who wants to go first with Trinity?
I'll go. I don't think I've gone first yet, so I'll go first.
All right.
I ended up with a lot of names, but I'll go with. All right, so I always want to cast this actress, but I never quite find the right place for her, and maybe I just don't think of her enough. But Kerry Washington.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always casting Tessa Thompson.
Oh,
that's good.
Yeah.
And then the other one that I think I like the one that I think I like the best, who I think fits really well into that role, and even able to do like all the physicality, Rebecca Ferguson.
Oh, that's a good one too.
That's good.
I didn't think of her.
That's good.
Yeah. All solid choices, I think. Al, give us your Trinity.
Okay, so I've got, she is cast all the time, but I think she would do it well, is Zendaya.
Oh, yeah.
Then I've got Anya Taylor-Joy.
We've been hitting her hard lately, too.
Yeah, and then I think, though, I really like her, and I hope she gets out of the franchise and does more things, is Letitia Wright.
Who is she?
In Black Panther.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, she's good.
That's it.
I've only seen her in Black Panther and an episode of Black Mirror.
Oh, see, I've only seen him in Black Panther. I think she's great.
Yeah.
I want to see her out of the franchise and doing other things.
She's doing other stuff. I don't know what it is, though. It's good.
I have a bonus one, too. But
I have a bonus one that we'll get through as well. But it's not that big a deal. Okay, my number 3 is really just a placeholder. I only have 2. So number 3 is Anne Hathaway as Trinity. Fine. Number 2, I think
feel
is...
like she might be too old for the role.
We've been putting a lot of old people in these roles, I think.
Okay.
Number 2 is Emily Blunt with an American accent.
Right.
Well, she could be British, I guess, too, right? That's fine. Number 1 is the answer, and we should all just stop. That's why I wanted to go third, because there's only one answer.
All right.
Kobe Smulders.
Oh, because they're the same person?
Yes. Kobe Smulders from How I Met Your Mother and Agent
Avengers,
whoever from the Avengers. She's Trinity. She is Trinity. The end. Done.
Funny.
Okay. Al, give us your Agent Smith, because you haven't got
this. This was my worst one.
This I had a never-ending string of names.
Really?
Yeah.
I looked at 2 and was like, and I stopped looking. I kind of gave up on this one. So my second choice, which is not great, is Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Who plays Quicksilver.
I considered him for sure.
And the top of 2 that I don't like, but I think it's also kind of funny, is I can't even read my Joel Kinnaman.
Yeah.
Who plays Flag in...
Yeah. Oh, the guy that me and Eric hate?
Yes. But because he's kind of robotic and whatever, so I thought it was kind of funny.
Oh, he's the worst.
Yep. But I thought that kind of worked.
All right. I've got 3. I will throw this out because I don't think Eric will have this as a real one, but he might. So if I piss on it now, sorry, Eric. My throwaway one, but I think it was time for us to mention him.
Okay.
Tom Hardy.
Oh.
Agent Smith.
All right.
I don't think he works for that, so no.
Okay.
My real one, Michael Fassbender.
Oh, yeah.
Agent Smith.
Yeah,
no, that's a good one.
My number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That was my number 3.
Mm-hmm. All right. You took my third spot with your throwaway. Okay. Because I only gave 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. My number 2 Cillian Murphy.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think he can do it.
interesting.
He's got
I
over
think
that-
Fassbender beats that one out, though.
Sure. Number one. I don't think everyone will appreciate this. It might just be for me. I think it's perfect.
Okay.
This one, admittedly, is not it's not an exact fit, but I think it fits perfect.
Okay.
So,
Lay it on us.
you ready?
I think so.
John Mulaney.
He's just talking really fast instead of really slow.
So he has to work on his voice. That's a major problem with this thing. But the look and the mannerisms and the suit and I was thinking John
Agent
Mulaney.
Smith is just smirking all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was not expecting
No,
that.
I know.
No.
That was the one that was like a hard sell. I'm like, I don't know this movie.
Woo!
In my movie, it fucking works perfect.
Woo!
But in reality, I don't. We have to.
I think his
have a lot of work.
look works more than
Right. That's half the battle.
Wow. Okay.
Eric, give us your Agent Smith.
All right. I've got 4 names. Starting at the bottom, Josh Brolin.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Third, I thought of Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
My number 2, like this name came up earlier. I liked Nicholas Hoult.
Okay.
Yeah. I can.
That feels a little bit. Yeah.
I considered him for that as
Yep.
well. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, maybe it might be 1 and 1A for this other person. Nicholas Hoult, even though they're nowhere near the same person. Nicholas Hoult or Henry Cavill.
Oh, I thought about Henry Cavill at one point.
I dismissed him immediately. I didn't like him for Smith. Do you have a wild card for Smith? Did you have an extra one?
No.
No? I have an extra one that I
Okay.
like. Bill Skarsgård, the guy who played It with the off-center eyes, or his his little eye thing. He's like a creepy Smith. Like it's a different kind of a Smith. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now we get to the bonus round. I have 3, and they are unimpeachable.
Okay.
I'll just give them. I'll just give my 3, and then you guys can give your 3s or whoever you have, whatever. Cypher.
Yes.
Charlie Day. No question there. He can play that little mousy rat. Cypher.
Joey Pants.
Joey Pants. Joey Pantoliano. Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one and only one.
Yeah, I know.
Tilda Swinton.
Yes, of course.
Of course. It's not even.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
That character is playing Tilda Swinton.
Yes.
And the Oracle, I knocked this out of the park with Debbie Allen.
Oh. Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I feel that's my strongest. Who I've cast for the Oracle is my strongest of all of them, and
I love Debbie Allen as
that's good. That's good. Is she dancing all over the place, and all
hope-
those kids are like? That's part of the audition of being of being a potential.
The fun thing is, if she gets sick or can't do it, you just get her sister, Felicia Rashad. She fills in. Yeah. Done and done.
God.
All right, Al.
All right. So for the Oracle, I had 2, I thought, strong candidates. Angela Bassett was one.
Sure.
But with a bullet, Octavia Spencer is playing that part.
Yeah.
So that's what I had there. Cypher, I wrote down 3 names. I will only say one. It's Jesse Eisenberg. That's who's playing.
Charlie Day?
No. Nope. Tank.
Fucking Tank.
That's where I've got Donald Glover or John Boyega. And he's delivering that cheeseball line of, believe it or not, you piece of shit,
maybe
you still can burn.
Maybe he'll improv something better.
And then I was not looking to cast them, but as I was looking at other parts, I came across these two actors, and they are, one, the same person, and two, work for the role, and that is for the character of Mouse.
Yeah.
I've either got Freddie Highmore or Thomas Brody Sangster, who he was in I'm blanking on the name of the current movie, but he was the kid in Love Actually.
Okay.
He's now grown up, and he was, oh crap, I had it and I lost it again, but it's like one of those Hunger Game movies where they're trying to get out of a maze or something like that.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Those are my wild cards.
You have a wild card or a bonus?
The only one I did was the Oracle. She just came up a minute ago. I had down one of my names was Felicia Rashad.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And if she
Debbie Allen. I have, there you go. And then the other two names I have Alfre Woodard, and maybe this is and Regina King.
Oh, I will cast her in anything.
For the Oracle?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
All right.
She could also do a Morpheus.
She can do anything.
Yes,
Let's be honest.
Yes.
Memorable scenes and quotable lines. The first one I wrote down
is whoa.
Simply whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
What was that, Eric?
Say it again.
I know Kung Fu.
Oh.
Kung Fu.
I know Kung Fu.
Show me.
Yeah.
Dodge this. That's a good one. There is no spoon.
Mm-hmm.
There is no spoon.
I should have taken the other one. What was it? The red one?
Why didn't I take the blue pill?
The blue pill.
The blue pill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. I really nailed that memorable quote.
Memorable quote. I should have taken the other one. What?
Oh my gosh.
Stop trying to hit me and hit me. We said that already.
I'm so tired.
That's good. We need guns.
Guns, lots of guns.
Yep. My name is Neo. That was one. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Mm-hmm.
You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Those are mostly the quotes.
Yeah, I mean, there are a handful of quotes. I think it's more memorable scenes that it's the visual of this movie. It's the plot line. We've covered a lot of them.
2 or 3 quotes you remember from this movie, really, and then it's more scenes. Yeah.
Yeah. We talked already, of course, about the shootout scene. We've, of course, talked about the dodging of the bullet.
Yep.
The subway scene is really great as well. You know, one thing we didn't talk earlier, I meant to bring up, and it's so brilliant and so subtle, is the coloration of the movie.
Yeah.
And just the green hue.
Inside the Matrix is greenish.
Yes. And then I started thinking about, you know, that goes back to like old computers and having the green font. Yeah. Like, do people even know what that is today?
Even in 99, when this came out and Neo's typing on that computer and it's got green lettering, no one was doing that. No one. That wasn't current. only a few years, but still, it was like a throwback.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting though, because it was like that first time you see it and you don't know what the movie's about, because like the whole thing about it was, what is the Matrix? So you're watching it the first time and like little stuff like that, like pointing, like sort of hinting towards this, something about this just isn't right.
This world is
like something's off.
Well, and I loved even like the use of deja vu and how that works as like an actual thing where it's a glitch in the Matrix. And so people, that has become a part of like common language. If something weird happens, it's a glitch in the Matrix.
Right. Well, and people will talk about, so-and-so was red pilled or blue pilled or whatever. That even comes up.
It's the other one. That's the other one.
The other one. I mean, we talked about most of these memorable scenes already.
Yeah. I choose the Matrix.
I do like the scene in the high-rise building where Smith is talking to Morpheus, trying to get him crack, and they inject him with the whatever to try to get his, mind to break. And when he's talking about, I have to get out of here. The stink is, it's infecting my, my code or my, if there is such a thing, that type of thing. That whole monologue he does, I think it was super cool. And we'll get to that in a minute, but that's almost the movie I want to see, is the machines developing the Matrix and the whole backstory.
Like a prequel of how,
another scene that I remember almost being shocked by it when I watched it the first time, and this is something we haven't really touched on, is the dojo scene. Where it's actually Keanu Reeves and Lawrence Fishburne doing all the choreography themselves. Like before that, it was still very much like a stuntman kind of thing where the star isn't doing all that.
Yeah.
Well, and we talked about this. I mean, that's why Keanu is a little stiff in some of these fight scenes, because he broke one of his vertebrae, or he had a couple of them fused.
Yeah,
was it back or is it neck? I forget.
Neck.
Yeah. And so that's why he's a little stiff, and in the way he throws some of these punches, and that's why he doesn't do that many kicks, because he can't get his leg up for these kicks.
Interesting.
Like, he was injured, like severely injured.
So like when he lifts his leg up toward the end, and then he does like the little twist and turn, and it goes back down.
Who knows if that was earlier in this shooting schedule, or I don't know. But.
So going back to the dojo scene, because this is what I wanted to talk about. I mentioned earlier. So in the dojo scene, both Morpheus in particular is fast in that scene. And then when they're in the Matrix against Smith, it's like it's almost an intentional slowdown of him against the agent. Like he's got concrete in his hands and his fists. And I don't know if it is more about you're in a training program in their controlled environment versus the Matrix, which is their controlled environment. And they're able to slow him down a bit in order for Agent Smith to be able to...
I think it's more to show the invincibility and dominance of the agents.
Yeah, but
just that the agent is that much faster.
Yeah,
right. So either way, though, like even that level of subtlety of that speed, I thought was really interesting and great.
Many of the punches that Neo throws even in the dojo, have no chance of even getting near Lawrence Fishburne's head. I mean, they slow-mo it, and he's doing the straight arm, like karate chop to his ear, but he's a foot away from his head.
Yeah.
Some of that I thought was weird. Like, it was just shot weird. I mean, it looked cool, but on second viewing, you're like, those aren't real punches. Like, I don't know what that is, but yeah. It looks
I can flutter over here and I can flutter over there, and
right. It's
the scene there that I was going to talk about earlier, and I decided I was going to wait until now. Was the scene when Neo is being reprimanded by his boss.
Yeah.
And his boss is saying things like, "You think you're special and the rules don't apply to you."
Oh yeah.
His boss is
totally
discussing. He's explaining the movie to us in code. Yeah.
Like you think you're special, it just works. I even can't explain it now, but it works so well, sort of like foreshadowing what's going to be going on in the rest of the movie.
But they're probably also recognizing that he is questioning the world and that he's researching the Matrix, and so they're trying to reinforce to him, you're not special. The rules, you think that the rules don't apply to you, but they do, kind of thing.
You think his boss knows he's researching the Matrix?
I think the Matrix is telling him through the boss, you are not special. You think the rules don't apply to you, but they do. Type thing to just tamp him down.
Like the window washers on the windows that are distracting Neo. Distracting Neo. And the water, the bubbles, the soap comes down sort of in the Matrix code almost.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's watching the code, in the bubbles, not paying attention to the guy who's telling him he's in the dream world, like Eric is talking about. That whole scene is subtly good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
That's really good.
I did like, and it was, I think, really it was the first introduction of the fighting, though. Like when he runs up the side of the dojo and kind of does that big backflip over Morpheus, and
he grabs the wires. And he flips over. Yeah, the wire work is great. Keanu needs to not grab the wires every single time he's flipping around.
Yeah, the worst example is when he flips out of the off the subway tracks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a bit over the top. It's a bit too obvious. Okay.
I forgot how young he is in that movie. That movie's old.
What would you want to see in a sequel if there isn't one already? So, Eric, when you watched this movie, you said you also watched the two sequels.
Yeah, I ended up powering through the whole trilogy.
So last night I put on, because I saw something about it online, and I looked, and it is on HBO Max. The Animatrix, the series of animated, I don't know, there's 5 or 6 animated shorts put together that take place, I don't know, it doesn't matter really, but between the first movie and second movie, and they sort of give further context to the world and the whatever. Some are like history lessons on how the machines got there. One is about the other kid who's in the third movie, and it's all fine. But the one that I liked that I do, and I mentioned this, I do want to see a prequel, would be like how the whole thing started, how the machines.
How did the revolution happen? That the machines took over?
Yeah, what does the first Matrix that was supposed to be perfect and was a huge failure, what does that look like? Or what does all this look like from the perspective of the machines instead of the people? Like I'd like to see that side of this civil war and see how that whole thing works out.
And how did they gather up people and put them in those things?
Right.
Like how did that whole thing occur?
I'm interested in like the origins of all this stuff. Would be interesting, I think. Maybe. I mean, that's a stretch.
I don't think I've got that level of urgency to see it.
No,
it's probably because obviously there are 2.
This could be a limited series on Netflix, a 6-episode run would be fine. Great.
Yeah. I am looking forward to the new one to see what they're doing.
I know.
With it, but
I'm mostly just curious about it.
Yeah.
I have no real expectations of it. Okay. The how much are they worth game.
And now, let's play the How Much Are They Worth game.
Okay.
We've got Joey Pants, Hugo Weaving, Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, and Keanu Reeves. In the last issue of my Edge magazine that I did 20 years ago, we had an interview with Joey Pants.
Oh.
So that's my connection right there. I did not interview him. I had one of my editors do it, but okay, Joey Pants, Joey Pantoliano. And
he's been around forever.
Yeah.
And has been everywhere. But they've always been basically bit parts or just character actor parts.
He had a 20-year run where he was in like every movie.
151 actor credits. Yeah. MacGyver.
The movie or the TV show?
TV series 2016 to 2021. Has he ever had a lead role?
Where he was the star, like the lead? I don't think so.
Mm.
He was in Midnight Run. We know that.
Yes, this is true. 151 titles going back. How long?
He was in
this thing is so long. Going back to the 80s, late 70s.
He was in Risky Business.
Looks like the first one, he was a mugger in the movie Road Movie. 1973.
What's the Christopher Nolan movie where it goes backwards?
Tenet?
Memento. Tenet. I will also accept Tenet. Yeah. Memento. I was thinking. I have a number. I think I'm way too high.
Okay, I've written down a number.
Eric, what do you got?
I'll say 20 million.
Al?
I had 23.
I said 31. I think I'm high. Ooh. Joey Pantoliano has a net worth of $8 million.
Wow.
That's interesting. Eric gets it just by default because we all suck. Hugo Weaving. This is an interesting one. He's been in a lot of big movies.
Yeah, he's been around, and I think he's been around longer than we kind of realize.
Yep. 92 actor credits.
I mean, none of us knew him before this movie, right?
Right.
Yeah, this was before all the Lord of the Rings, right?
Yeah. So not major parts in those movies, but parts. And those were big-ass movies.
Yeah.
But he had a significant role in, the Matrix movies. So there's something. I mean, in the Marvel, he was in the Captain America thing. Like, he's been in some big movies, but not in giant parts.
Right.
V for Vendetta.
Mm-hmm.
He was in Babe. Don't forget that.
Uh-huh.
He voiced Rex the dog. I think he is Australian, right?
Yeah.
So I think he was acting in Australia for a long time.
Yeah. He's down there doing
before
Margot Robbie, whoever is Nicole Kidman. Okay, Allison, do you have a number?
Yes, I wrote down 18 million.
Shit.
How much?
18.
I wrote 35.
Oh.
Eric?
30.
See, the Joey Pants thing, I just threw
I
it
know.
off. Hugo Weaving is a British actor who has a net, although I think he's from Australia, has a net worth of $25 million. So Eric is 5 over, Al is 7 under. Oh, you're 12 under. No, 7 under. Yeah, so he gets it. Eric gets it.
Damn it, Eric.
2-0. Okay. Let's come back with Carrie-Anne Moss.
Hmm.
The Matrix movies plus Memento, and that's all I know about Carrie-Anne Moss.
She popped up. She was in the Netflix Marvel stuff. She was in Daredevil.
He's in Daredevil.
And then I think she was part of another, like one of the tie-ins. Jessica Jones.
Oh,
she was in Jessica Jones, and then I think she was in like whatever that team up, the Defenders. So she's got some little bit of Marvel money. I feel like she should have had a bigger career.
Totally.
Yeah, it's a bit surprising. Although I hope she was in Chocolat. She played the mom of the little boy.
79 actor credits, holy crap.
Yeah, what the hell? How do we not
It's
know?
more than a...
These actors who have like 100 credits and like we barely know about them. Seems weird.
Wait a minute. She was in a TV show called The Matrix in 1993.
I saw that too.
13 episodes.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I choose The Matrix.
She chose
She
it
was in that
many
movie.
times.
She was on the movie Red Planet with...
Oh, yeah.
Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore and Terrence Stamp.
That movie really is not very good.
Okay.
She was a producer.
Forgot about that movie.
Mostly an actor.
All right, I've written down a number.
Okay, let me do this. I got the Joey Pants thing is skewing this entire thing. I don't know where to go with this. Okay, I've got a number and it's 12 million.
I wrote down 25. I'm hoping she cashed in on 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Eric, what do you got?
15. I hope I'm wrong and she's worth more.
Ooh, well, is a Canadian actress.
About.
So, I mean, I don't know what the conversion rate is, so that we didn't factor that in. Has a net worth of $3 million.
That's not right.
That can't be right.
So I win that one.
$3 million.
She's best known for Matrix. She's been in Jessica Jones.
$3 million, and she was in 4 Matrix movies?
I refuse to believe that that's correct.
I'm sure she'll get paid for this next one. I don't know what to tell you.
All right.
Lawrence, don't call me Larry Fishburne.
gotta get on the board here.
I can't spell Fishburne.
He's been in a couple things.
132 acting credits. Cowboy Curtis.
Hmm.
Find him.
He is in that TV show Blackish, Grownish. It's generating some money. Ant-Man and the Wasp. He's got some Avengers money.
Yeah.
Was he in all of the?
He's got John Wick money now too.
Well, Boys in the Hood.
Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice. Things happen.
That's right. He's Perry White now.
See this.
Oh,
guy.
he was on. He had a run on CSI.
God,
He's in that movie 21. He was in it. He's got a lot of like bit parts too.
Things happening.
Oh, he's even got. That's right. He was in Mission Impossible 3.
He's the narrator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 2007. Yeah. Okay.
I have a number.
All right.
I don't know about this one. Eric, what do you have for Larry Fish?
I will say 45 million.
Oh, that's great.
I said 39.
I wrote 70.
You might have it. I don't feel super confident about that.
I'm not gauging off of you. I'm gauging off of Eric.
Well, I'm close to Eric.
That's I know.
What? Okay. Lawrence Fishburne is an actor, screenwriter, and producer. Blah, blah, blah. With a net worth of $30 million. I get that one.
Oh, we forgot about Apocalypse Now.
Oh, yeah.
He was like 16 in that movie.
I'm sure he got nothing for that. Like scale. Whatever.
Yeah.
You know, a day rate of whatever.
So it's 2 to 2 to 0?
2 to 2 to 0. Going into Keanu Reeves.
He has that Babes in Toyland money. Point Break money.
What was it? Parenthood? Parenthood?
Oh,
Bill
yes.
and Ted's?
Bill and Ted money, John Wick money.
I hope he got
Speed
paid.
money.
Bill and Ted number 3. Oh, Speed. There's a good one.
Speed, yeah. John Wick, of course. 47 Ronin.
What's the one with the mailbox? That's a time machine.
The Lake House.
What a shit show that was.
Constantine. Something's got to give.
See, I bet he like produces
The
stuff.
Replacements. Devil's Advocate.
Oh, Devil's Advocate.
Yes.
We might have to do that movie sometime. That's a good one.
Johnny Mnemonic. Ugh.
That's such a weird movie.
That was a shit show.
What you
Oh,
doing?
yeah. Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's made good choices throughout much of his career. He's been in a lot of movies that are not bad.
He does make good choices. And it's kind of, should have brought this up earlier, but it was kind of a thing with him with The Matrix. Like all the other actors that they asked to do it, they like didn't get it. But Keanu, they said like from the jump was all over it and was all in.
Yeah.
Like he got it and wanted to do it.
Well, he knew all that weird computer stuff from Johnny Mnemonic. So, I mean,
It appears as if he was in a cornflakes commercial in 1987. So
I remember him being on one of the Disney Sunday night movies where he is he plays. I think it was something ridiculous, like Robert Wagner wished to be a kid again, and then it was like Robert Wagner inside of Keanu Reeves' body.
They're called Teenage Dream. No.
All right, I have a number. And I don't know about it.
It was called Young Again.
Oh.
Well, yeah, Robert Urich. And yeah, Keanu was playing Robert Urich in a 17-year-old's body.
Great.
All right, I've got a number.
Eric, give us your number.
Oh, God. It's hard because he gets money and then he gives it away.
Yep.
Which does he really have? I will say, I'm going to say $175 million.
I said 121.
I wrote down 175, crossed it out, and put 160 because of the giving away.
What does he give away to?
Charities, and he buys people stuff, and
all right.
Like he'll buy his crew, like everybody gets a motorcycle.
I'm not up on. Oh! I just saw a number that surprised me. I'm not up on Keanu Reeves' activities. Okay, this is a shocker. You will not be prepared for this number. Keanu Reeves is an actor, musician, producer, and philanthropist who has a net worth of $380 million.
Oh, I almost was gonna go really high.
I considered saying 300.
Eric takes it 3-2-0.
Why would you highlight that?
380. Yeah.
That's a.
Because I was thinking I don't know.
Yeah, because there's all the stories, basically all the money that he got from the Matrix sequels, he split up and gave it to all the stuntmen.
Yeah.
That's great.
And all the the crew from the movies.
Yeah.
So that 380 might be 500. Or I don't know, 400 or 430.
Or it's 380 and he's only got 50 left.
Yeah.
Because he'll buy he buys all the stuntmen Harley Davidsons and stuff.
Wow.
And he gives a lot of his money away to hospitals and.
Yep.
Wow, that's a big number.
I was not prepared for 380.
No.
Good for him, though. He seems to be he is known to be such a nice guy. So of all the people, that's great.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He's made a lot, as we just said, a lot of movies that were good decisions and all that sort of stuff. But if you told me it was 220, I'd be like, okay, yeah, sure. Fine.
Yep.
380. Holy fuck.
That's a big number.
All right, that was The Matrix. It holds up. It is a flawed yet perfect movie. It revolutionized action scenes as we know them, specifically fighting scenes. It made Keanu Reeves a shit ton of money. Spawned a franchise that's coming back in a matter of days. And we say this with a lot of movies that we do on this podcast. It really holds up. Short of a couple of the phone things here and there, but you could attribute that to the computers trying to live in this dream world. It holds up entirely. It's great. It feels like a modern movie.
Yes, and the phones is not even a thing because like flip phones are coming back. Like, yeah, no, I agree. I choose The Matrix. Like, it's.
I know Kung Fu.
It's good. I'll watch it anytime it's on television. If I see it, I'll put it on.
Yeah, it's entirely watchable.